Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital and welcome to a new update here on Hedera or Hbar. Wanted to do an update because, well, as you can see, the situation has escalated quite a fair bit since the last time we made this video. Now, I mean, the good news potentially is that we knew this was coming, right? I mean, what we said on Saturday when we had this bearish breakdown, which, by the way, I mean, this price action in itself is quite strange, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But when we got this bearish breakdown here, below our main support level here at 18 cents, it's a bigger zone, but ultimately 18 cents. If you had to pick one level, it's that level. You have a lot of liquidity there, and was the 0.618 fib of the entire move up, and we dropped down below that with quite a lot of volume, right? So we on Saturday we already said, you know, we have to reclaim above that level soon. If we cannot, we're going to drop down into the next support level right here at 15 cents. And it seems to me right now that is happening, all right? You can see, I mean, when we're talking about Hedera right here, and we're talking about, all right, well, which direction is it trying to go? You can clearly see it's trying to go down, and it's doing a fairly good job in doing that, all right? Now, there are some things, when we take a look at the technicals, if you zoom all the way out, and also if we look at the order flow, especially the order flow is quite interesting here. But if you take a look at that, there are some things that give me a bit of hope of recovery, but just in general, the price action we've had over the course of the weekend, ultimately the volume was slightly lower when we got that retest at 17.5 cents, but the fact that we did not even retest 18 cents, if this would have been inversed, this would have been one hell of a bullish breakout, all right? So this is a real bearish breakdown. I think Hedera right now, if you zoom all the way out, we can certainly say, I mean, the structure was already more bearish the beginning of February. But since then, we've gotten into a downtrend, all right? And that's what's going on right now. And then the question becomes, all right, well, what's the next support level where we can actually stabilize a bit, like we've also done on top of 18 cents? And then the secondary question would be, but that's also for a bit later, can we actually start a new uptrend from there? And that's all very, very, very difficult to determine right now. I would say in terms of the short-term price action, the market is also still very relatively weak. There is a lot of uncertainty in the markets. So short-term, I would say it's best to expect that Hedera is going to drop down lower. All right, now if we zoom all the way out, the first main support level where I would say, all right, well, there we have some liquidity, and from there we can actually expect some more support, would be this level right here around 15 and 14 cents. All right, you can see on the weekly time frame that's not the biggest level, but at least there is some more liquidity, especially if you go to the daily time frame. It basically starts at like 15.7 already, but I'd argue with the current bearish pressure we have, we're going to drop down lower. And then there is most liquidity towards like 13.8, but that entire level is the first major support level. So that's the first level where we can see whether we're going to find support there. Now, should you buy Hbar there? I'm not certain, all right? Maybe towards the lower edges where the risk reward is worth it, but it's a relatively big area, right? And it's unclear to me right now how far we can fall, especially with these fundamentals. I mean, we can spike down pretty low. So I think ultimately it is most likely that Hedera is going to find support there. But where exactly, it's difficult to pinpoint. So therefore risk reward is also difficult to interpret, and stop loss placement is difficult. So ultimately, I think between 14 and 15 cents we will find support. But for now, like I said, short term, I still think it's most likely that we'll drop down into that. And then from that support, look, predicting an uptrend is always difficult. I don't think we can do that. I do expect somewhat of a bigger move at some point of time, because if we look at the order flow, which I wanted to talk about that slightly earlier, but all right. What you can see is that we've had a massive surge in open interest right here, in positions being opened, and the majority, not everything, but the majority of that is short orders. All right. There's also some long limit orders probably being filled. That always happens with a move like this, but ultimately that creates liquidity and that creates incentive to get that bullish move, right? So I do think that's coming, but for now, unfortunately, like unless the fundamentals turn better, I'd say it's most likely we're going to drop down lower. But those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know today. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.